Warning, this podcast contains spoilers from Earth 2.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the ASOTV podcast for The Flash Season 2, Episode 2, A Flash of Two Worlds. Or it's just Flash of Two Worlds, right?
It's too many flashes for me.
Too many flashes?
Season 2, Episode 2, Flash of Two Worlds. There's just too many.
That is way too many twos.
Too many twos. Twos too many.
I'm your host, Clio, and with me I have Dom.
There's no two in
of
my name.
Earth 2.
Actually, I am a junior, so...
Oh.
That does make me Dom the second.
There you go.
There's about
there
22
you lied
too
about
many
your
twos.
own name.
Did I?
You said there's no twos in my name, and
Yeah,
then
I
you
know.
said wait.
Well, I'm a junior, so it's really technically not a two.
Well, if you had to refer to yourself in a kingly or noble
But
manner.
I'm not a king, or I'm definitely, there's no nobility about me. So I think I skated
that
by
has
on
never
that one.
been more apparent.
Yep.
So Jay, what do you think of Jay?
Whew. I was kind of getting aggravated at Barry this whole episode.
Oh yeah, oh totally. But can you really blame him though?
Yes.
It's just like Wells, and it felt so much like everything Wells told him.
See,
for the last year.
I didn't make the connection that Barry was associating with him with Wells until Iris sat down and talked to Barry.
Yeah, I didn't realize it either. Honestly, I didn't even fully grasp it until Jay was showing him everything.
Right. So,
and then I was like, oh, there it is.
Yeah, well, see, to me, when he's like, oh, the lightning, and he's like, that's when he started to feel like Wells to me. So everything before that, it just didn't feel right. So I don't feel Barry had the right to be as mad as he did.
Well, because it was, before we realized, it was all the subtle things.
Yeah, I guess.
The things he didn't notice about Wells until it was revealed that he was a traitor. He fucktard. Traitor McFucktard.
Yeah.
So it was...
But... I don't know.
I was confused. I'm like, I get that you want to be wary, but this is overkill. Until it was like, oh, this is just like Wells. That's why he's being extra weird.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, but Jay himself, I really like Jay.
I fucking love Jay. He's, like, perfect.
Yeah.
And was it you or my dad that was complaining about him not being old enough?
No, wasn't me.
Okay, it was my dad. My dad's like, yeah, but he's not old. I'm like, but he's got, like, that old-timey quality to him, you know what I mean?
He does have the old-timey quality, and remember, he's not the Flash from, like, 50 years ago kind of thing. He's the Flash from he's the same Flash as Barry. It's the same timeline.
Even in the comics, when it was made canon that Jay was the Flash from Earth 2, even then he was an old man.
Right.
Like in Earth 2, Superman was old.
Right.
You know, like all the heroes were a little older from Earth 2.
So I think they're definitely going in a different direction here because...
Which I'm so okay with.
Because in the comics, when Earth 2 was, talking about, that was like the Flash that everybody started with in the first comics and everything like that. And then when it shifted gears and switched a couple times, and then we realized we were in, a different Earth with the current Flash, with the Barry, So the way they're going here in the TV show is that Jay only became the Flash 2 years ago, the same-ish amount of time, of Barry. So they pretty much both, within a year or so, became the Flash. Yeah,
the timelines are sort of lining up, just like, I'm going to call him Eobard. I know everyone keeps calling him Wells, but, Eobard shows up at the same time. Zoom shows up at the same time as, the Reverse Flash did, really.
Yeah. Yep.
Or at least, sort of. Because, our Reverse Flash showed up earlier, but that was a mistake. Whatever. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
is the timeline and
Yeah.
because so basically the way our timeline went through is it happened once already, and we're catching it on the second go around because Eobard went back to the past and altered it
Yeah.
because Eobard's from the future, so it had to have gone up to that point already to get Eobard. So then when he went back to change it, everything got displaced and we got things earlier. So
Yeah.
Technically, if you want to look at it in terms of Earth 1 and Earth 2, as long as that timeline also wasn't altered in the same fashion, that it would in fact be ahead of our Earth timeline
Oh yeah.
in the original timeline. So it probably would have
Yeah.
paired up more toward the comics, but because our Earth 1 was already altered, that they're lining up better than they originally were.
Yes, I see. I see what you mean.
I'm very impressed if anybody followed my train of thought from that.
I like kind of. I followed it enough to understand where you were
Yeah.
stabbing at.
Yeah.
Like, so much stuff happened in this episode, but what I really wanted to talk about and discuss is the wormhole. Not a wormhole. Wormhole?
Kind of.
Singularity?
The singularity
Because it opens
is
up
kind of a wormhole, yeah.
It opened up the door. Like, freaking, Jay saw it in the sky about, like, the same height as, Barry and everybody saw it in their sky. So it is kind of like a wormhole from one world to the other.
Yep.
And Jay got sucked in, which means Ronnie could have got spit out.
Right. And that's the theory that I went with last week, and it's seeming more and more possible.
Definitely possible that Ronnie is. Well, I thought maybe he was in another world, but now there's no doubt in my mind that he is in Earth 2 right now.
Right.
Sitting in a corner watching Wells like, I know you're evil.
Yeah. I mean, I was fully expecting to see Ronnie at the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Because, jumping ahead a bit, when we saw, what's the scientist's name? The old guy?
Stein.
What?
Stein?
Dr. Yeah. Stein. When we saw Stein collapse, I was like, something happened to Ronnie. That's the first thing I thought. Something happened to Ronnie. It's connected, even though they're on two other worlds right now.
See, I didn't get that. I was like, is he having a stroke?
Yeah.
It looked like a stroke.
Yeah, so I feel like something happened to Ronnie, and then as soon as that thought popped into my head, they cut to Earth 2, and I was like, we're going to see Ronnie. We're going to see what Ronnie's up to. And we didn't. We saw something else, but
I love just the old-timey aesthetic that they have, the 1940s, 50s aesthetic to Earth 2. Mm-hmm. I think it's fantastic.
Oh, yeah, it's great. It is absolutely great. It's kind of the 1940s, but it's also futuristic at the same time.
Yes. My dad said that the spaceship, the rocket in Star Labs, is Superman's rocket.
Ooh.
He lands in.
Ooh.
It's a babby. His babu.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. I would not have caught that if he didn't say something.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more subtle hints at Superman and stuff with Supergirl coming up, even though it's on another network. Yeah. There will be subtle references to it, in my opinion, I think. So.
Oh, most certainly. I think they're just like, also I think they're just referencing other heroes, because this is not a spoiler for Arrow, so don't worry, but in a flashback scene, you catch a name on a jacket, and it's Jordan. This is a reference to Green Lantern.
Yep.
Which I have the biggest feeling is coming soon.
Well, we kind of got that hint in Arrow in, what was it?
In Flash, too. Because
was it Flash or Arrow? Maybe it was one of the crossovers.
It was Flash.
I thought it was the crossover Arrow episode, actually.
Because Flash Team it was just Flash Team, went to Coast City to Ferris Air, where Barry said, oh yeah, it's been abandoned since the pilot disappeared.
Gotcha, yeah. Okay, I thought that was
the pilot disappearance was Hal, and he's off in space with the Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah, I thought that was the Arrow episode where the Flash characters came over, but okay, so it was the other way around.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so definitely these heroes are coming. Yes. So Caitlin was being a little
Flirty.
hands-on with Jay.
Give him a full body scan.
I was being thorough. And I just love how she tries to explain it all away, and everyone's like, "Yeah, sure, girl, whatever."
Yeah, even Jay's like, and I subjected myself to a full body scan, even though I didn't have to, you know. So there's definitely a bit of a
doctor lady doing it. I mean,
yeah, I mean, there's definitely a bit of a dynamic with the two of them, and I think we're gonna see a lot more of that pan out, especially with Ronnie gone, and she's. I mean, it's never easy to grieve someone, but it's probably a little bit easier for her, seeing as it's kind of the second time around.
Yeah, I was gonna say she's done it before, and the first time she did it, she held on, and she knew how holding on just destroyed her on the inside.
Right. So it's still not easy, but
yeah, no,
a lot of time has passed also, keep in mind, since she had, this go on. So she's got a bit of time to move on, and this may be the perfect thing to distract her until Ronnie comes back.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. They just made so many jokes about, like, her being all up on him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
So funny. So Cisco, adorable baby Cisco, does not want to share with everyone that he's vibing out.
No, literally, he's literally having vibes.
Literally vibing out.
He's the vibe.
I am so sad and disappointed.
Are you though? Because I feel like the whole thing with Cisco is like, and he kind of hinted, and not really hinted, but he kind of directly said it. But he feels like that Wells did this to him directly, like.
But he didn't.
Injected him with something, or Wells kind of did, because starting the reactor and everything, and it's something that we saw him do. We saw Cisco have the powers before the second event, before the singularity and all that. So it's not like the singularity caused it. And I think what we're learning here is that the metahumans don't necessarily all get their powers immediately. Like, they're gradually getting them over time, which is why we haven't seen Caitlin exhibit any of her powers as Killer Frost. Though.
Well, I also don't think my theory with Killer Frost is that she's gonna be I don't know, but I don't think she got it from the particle accelerator.
See, I think she did.
Another thing.
I think she did, but I think because of everything that's going on with Cisco right now, they're probably going to focus on Cisco and not, like, put Killer Frost into the mix with it. So it's probably going to be something that happens down the line. So I wouldn't expect it until maybe the second half of the season, maybe even next season, because they don't have to, like, unleash everything all at once. They have plenty of time. The show isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, it's not. But the reason I say I was disappointed, I know I'm happy that he is getting the vibes and that he's learning about his powers, but it's like you gotta share it. Everyone's gotta know. It's gonna be okay.
Well, because the first time he got the vibe was, with Wells.
When he died. Yeah, I know. That's some traumatic shit.
He really feels like Wells did this to him, and he knows how Barry feels about the situation more than anyone. He knows how everybody else reacted to the Wells situation. And if he starts bringing this to people's attention, thinking that Wells did something to him, that they're going to start being suspicious around Cisco. They're going to feel like Wells tainted him, and they're going to turn on him.
I don't think
I'm saying that's what Cisco feels.
That's what he feels. Yeah, you're right.
So.
You're right. But I'm glad at least Stein figured it out, because Stein is just like, you ain't fooling me.
Yes.
I
Pretty
know
much.
better.
And while we're on the topic of Stein,
I did the math.
Can I just be so thankful that Stein was in this episode to explain the multiple worlds?
Okay, so he explained it to Joe 3 times. He dumbed it down, and I'm like, thank you, Joe, for being the audience.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thank you, Joe, for being us.
Yep. Because, I mean, I understand the concept. We figured out, we've been talking about Earth 1, Earth 2 for a while now. And especially in
we also have the comics as a
but I'm saying, especially in our last season, the season finale podcast we did, we really kind of went into this whole thing about Earth 1 and Earth 2. We had a nice long topic about it. Whereas I know a lot of people, on my Facebook feed, a lot of people that watch The Flash were like so confused by the ending of this episode, and I'm just like, how can you be confused when they just explained what Earth 1 and Earth 2 are through,
Nah, dog.
midway through?
Nah, dog. Don't be confused.
Like, I get it. It can be confusing, but it's not at the same time.
Yeah. I mean, it's a question I'll never have answered, but if I didn't know what I know about the DCU, I may be confused, but the fact that I have that knowledge base, I'm most certainly not confused.
See, and I just had a discussion with someone last night where we were talking about Gotham, and they were like, sometimes there's just like some supernatural shit going on in Batman that just comes out of left field, and it feels so weird. And I go, you got to remember though, Batman is in the same universe as Superman and the Flash and Green Arrow and Green Lantern, all that, and you got to remember that they're all kind of connected.
There's aliens and magic and time travel. There's all of this stuff happening in the same universe.
Right, and to be fair though, Gotham, not even the TV show, but Batman in general, does seem a little separated from the rest of it all because it seems more grounded in reality, so I kind of understand that, but people got to realize that everything is part of a bigger thing, because even Wayne Tech Industries is mentioned in The Flash in the newspaper articles from the future. So, there's stuff. It's all connected.
But Batman's always been about a normal dude with no powers,
right,
having to be in this world of people with powers.
Right.
So I think that's always why Gotham's going to be this grounded, weirdly grounded place.
Yep.
Like Central City, that's got metahumans out the wazoo.
Yeah. And now metahumans from other worlds.
Yeah. So I don't know if you caught the number of little fissures in Central City.
52?
Yep. The new 52.
Mm-hmm.
52 is a very big number in the DC universe.
It is.
So, I actually did not catch that. My dad pointed it out. I was like, holy shit. 52. Usually I'm good at picking out numbers because Lost conditioned me.
4, 8, 15, 16, 23, 42.
Numbers.
Right off the top of my head. Look at that. I'm conditioned for that forever. And I still notice that when we do our Once Upon a Time podcast.
Yeah.
I'm like, clock, it's on 8:15. It's like,
what crazy.
Yeah. So numbers definitely something I pick up. I didn't realize, as soon as you said New 52, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. But yeah. So.
Yeah, even before the New 52, 52 has been a big number in the DC universe.
It's just like DC and their double named people.
Yeah, that was so funny that they mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
The Scarlet Speedster and the Crimson Comet. What is with alliteration? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I like their bonding. It's going to be nice to have someone who's actually got Barry's best interests at heart.
I really liked, especially because I just went through making this comment last week on the podcast, how Jay doesn't use the Speed Force.
Yes.
And this whole episode was them doing tests and running things on him and finding out that there's no trace of the Speed Force in his system whatsoever. So it's either he lost, if he does use the Speed Force, if he does in this particular telling, he lost it when he came through. But I'm more going with the lines of he is still not connected to the Speed Force.
Because he never said the words Speed Force, right?
Correct.
He just said he lost his speed.
Correct.
So the reason he can't go fast in this world is because he can't access the Speed Force yet.
Correct. Because the Speed Force seems to be tied to this world.
Yes.
Whereas whatever his powers he got are probably tied to the other world.
So then that the question would be then how does Zoom have his powers? Where does he get it from? Because the way the Reverse Flash got his powers was by feeding off Barry's Speed Force. So how does Zoom have the ability to go fast?
Well, like I said, I don't since Jay is not attached to the Speed Force in even his universe. I think it's something completely different. I don't think he's
Yeah,
even in
I
the Speed Force.
I agree.
So whatever Zoom is attached to, it's the same thing, and it's the same reason why Zoom can't come through.
He did though for like a
Briefly,
second.
briefly,
Yeah.
very
Okay.
very
Yeah. Okay.
briefly. But I mean, that's the reason why Zoom isn't going after Barry himself.
Oh, this. Oh wait, because the same thing would happen to Zoom that
Mm-hmm.
happened
To Jay.
to Eobard when he went back in time. He would lose his speed and then he would be stuck.
Yes. I don't necessarily if he would lose his he'd lose his speed, but it's not that he can't go back in time because he's not traveling through time. He's traveling through the dimensional tears.
Yes, but I think the reason he can travel through the dimensional tears is because of his powers.
Correct.
Because I think they're kind of closed-ish.
Correct.
They're just cracks.
Right.
And Zoom can get through because of his power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you notice he's very, very briefly staying. So
yes. He's like, go kill the Flash, I'm out.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's why Zoom is not coming through to handle Barry directly. He's sending metahumans through to take care of Barry himself because he cannot physically come here.
Yeah. That's interesting. I like that. I'm so excited.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. So let's talk about Patty.
Patty
I like
Mayonnaise?
her. Patty Spivot.
Patty Spivot. Patty.
And how Joe could just not get her name right.
No. Well, I love that too because it's whenever you introduce new characters, it's always that what was her name, kind of thing. So once again, Joe's playing the part of the audience. Joe is the audience of this show. That's all he is.
Joe is the realest motherfucker in this show.
So
wait, what was?
I just love when she goes to Barry and she's just like, I'm a huge fan, and he's like, what?
I've read all your case reports. I haven't.
But he instantly was like, Flash? Like, he's thinking that she knows, and then he's, oh, okay.
He got real nervous. He's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Yeah. No, she's awesome. I can't wait to see, and I'm curious if Joe's gonna integrate her into the Flash's life somehow.
Yeah, I mean, he told her to be there at 8 a.m. And my thought was, at Star Labs?
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be just yet.
No, it's gonna be a bit. Is this a potential new love interest for Barry?
I do think so.
There's a lot of those going around.
A lot of those going around. But I would love it if they here's 1,000 potential love interests and none of them pan out. Like, I would be completely okay with that.
Why do you not want Barry to fall in love?
You gotta work on yourself first.
Barry's gotta be happy. Let Barry be happy.
Right. It does.
Let him be happy.
Time. Be happy. Because here's why I think, Barry should just do Barry. I don't want another...
Barry goes back in time, he could do
and then
Barry.
Iris is just like, nah, I don't want that to happen again. Like, I don't want to be there again.
If Barry goes back in time, Barry could do Barry. But that's about it.
It's also, that'd probably be Paradox.
Yeah, probably.
Just don't.
No.
Just don't.
I don't want to see that, so don't do it. I want no part of that. But
guarantee you somebody wrote that fanfic.
No, don't do it.
Guaranteed.
Delete
it's already out there.
If it's out there, just delete it. Everybody just go on there and delete it. Report it. Just get it gone.
Get it gone.
Get it gone.
I was gonna say something with Patty, and I friggin' forgot because we started talking about other things. I don't know. I guess she's cool.
Yeah, I like her.
And I'm down.
I love the fact that though Joe was explained the whole multiple world thing, he didn't realize that the person he was following had two versions of himself out there.
Well, he did. After
he got punched in the face.
No, because he talked to Barry, and he was like, do you think this guy could have a doppelganger? Like, Neither of them said the whole sentence, but they finished each other's thought.
Yeah.
So the thought was there. He just, I guess, didn't realize that letting the normal guy go, Meta would just walk up.
Yeah, I guess. But that dead skin, though.
Ugh. It definitely seems like they're killing a lot more people in this season. We're right off the bat 2 dead metas.
Yeah, I mean, but is the containment cell really functioning at this point, too? Like, do they have somewhere to put the metas? I don't think they do. Yes, Jay was being held in a cell, but Jay has no powers, so they could just lock him in a room. It didn't really matter. So even if the place wasn't functioning, as long as the door closed, that's all they needed.
Yeah.
So we don't know if the whole thing is completely functioning, but
I don't know. I'm just saying.
But those lightning bolts.
That was crazy. And I think we're entering into territory where the CW universe of the Flash is going to have different new powers than the comic book version ever had.
Probably. Is the lightning new?
Yes.
Really?
Someone that watches and knows better, correct me if I'm wrong, but the comics have never done something like that.
Yeah, I'll try to look it up right now, but
yeah. Yeah, Joe is just such a put together, totally with it dude, but then he's just really goofy at times. Like inexplicably goofy at times. I don't know, I love him. I think he's the realest dude. And last season I said that about Joe, but I also said that about someone last season for Arrow, and I'm forgetting. Was it Diggle? Was it Diggle? Probably was Diggle. I forget now. Doesn't matter. What else we got to talk about?
It seems like no. It seems like he cannot shoot lightning. So yeah, that seems to be new to the show, which I'm not upset about at all.
Yeah, totally cool with it. And Jay said it was a skill he didn't master in time? Was that what it was?
Yeah. Basically, he could never. I don't know, like when he tried to master it, like when he tried to learn it, but the last time he encountered that meta,
it didn't work.
He just didn't. Yeah, he didn't perfect it in time. But turning sand to glass. As soon as he was talking about lightning, I go, that's exactly what he's doing. He's making glass.
I don't know how they're going to do it. I want them to both have super speed at the same time.
Jay and Barry?
Jay and Barry, yeah.
I think that will be possible when Jay can return home, because the Speed Force is existent everywhere. So when
Barry will still be able to
when Barry goes to Earth 2, he'll still be able to retain his speed. So
that's right, because the method with which Jay got his speed was different from the way Barry got his speed.
Yes, and hanging hard water, is that what they said?
Yeah. What's
to say that they don't try to replicate that here?
I'm sorry, I'm having Flashpoint flashbacks. We're trying to Barry trying to redo the conditions with which he got his powers in the first place did not go very well.
Right. So
I don't want to see that happen to Jay.
It's a possibility.
It is, but that was born out of desperation. I don't think that Jay is desperate.
Not yet.
Right now. Yeah. Not yet, you're right, because he's got Barry. So
if Barry can use Jay, like go together, like carry him through with the Speed Force and take him back home that way, that's probably the most likely path right now. But if that's not going to be the case, if he can't do that, then Jay's going to have to get his powers back by doing just that.
Yeah. Yeah. So at the end, we see Earth 2 and S.T.A.R Labs in all of its retro futuristic glory.
I love that it's both retro and futuristic at the same time.
Yeah, it is. And there's Harrison Wells. is this the same kind of like, is this Eobard who stole Harrison Wells' face, or is this?
I don't think so.
I'm racking my brain, like, trying to figure out exactly what iteration of.
The way I see this is because, the way they explained everything, right? And it's like, Barry, in this universe, you could be an electrician, you know. The way I see it is the coincidence that Wells is also still working for S.T.A.R Labs is already astronomically high. That for Wells to be Zoom now is another astrologically high phenomenon that probably will not come into play. So I'm thinking that Eobard is in this timeline, did kind of the same thing, went back, and is Zoom. I don't believe he's Wells.
So you think that Wells that we saw is actually a good guy?
Mm-hmm.
Totally upstanding.
Yeah, the only reason that
really good guy.
The only reason that I'm really, really leaning toward that path is because of such a big deal that Barry is making on how he trusted Wells, and that's turning into a conflict now, right? So then bringing in the actual Wells that is a straight up good guy is going to put even more stress on that conflict because Barry's not going to be able to trust him.
Wow.
So
that is super fucking interesting. Something I did not think of.
Yeah. So I watch too much TV, so I'm able to analyze things. I should be a writer, huh?
No, probably. Because I'm constantly picturing Ronnie in Earth 2, just like looking through the glass of S.T.A.R Labs, like, you fucking asshole at Wells.
Probably. Yeah. We could pretty much confirm that Ronnie is not Zoom.
Doppelganger.
Yeah, Ronnie's not Zoom. We can safely say that because we saw Zoom before the Singularity.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, anybody out there that thought that, you're wrong.
Do people think that? Is that
I don't know. I'm just saying. Because you start suspecting everything and everyone and everything. But that's not to say
nobody's safe. Everyone is suspect.
That's not to say that Earth 2 Ronnie isn't Zoom. We don't know that.
Oh.
Weird.
If
there is an Earth 2 Ronnie, there's an Earth 2 Wells. We would assume there's an Earth 2 Ronnie, which means there's an Earth 1 J.
I mean, there's also every possibility that there's not.
That is also
that you true. Cannot. There's not a doppelganger of you in the other.
That's completely true. Yeah. Your sperm.
As it is just as likely for you not to have been born as it is for you to have been born twice.
Correct. You as a sperm just may not have swam fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
One of your sperm brethrens just beat you out in that relay race. Fucking
asshole.
Yeah.
The one reality where he didn't break his knees with a crowbar.
Mm-hmm.
That's how sperm work. Anyway. Next week.
That is not how sperm work, but okay.
Next week, family of rogues. When Barry and the team find out Captain Cold has been kidnapped, they form an uneasy alliance with Lisa, his sister. However, Barry feels double-crossed. Double-crossed? He finds out S.T.A.R is working with his father.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Joe is faced with a difficult decision.
Of course.
Of course.
Mr. Ed is not in this universe.
What? It could not have been more vague about Joe. Joe is facing the difficult.
Joe's always facing difficult decisions, so that doesn't.
Yes, he's the realest person on the show.
Yeah. No, but Cold's father is Snart, whatever. Snart's father is going to be interesting. And you saw in the preview there was like a little scene where him and Barry sat down at a table and he's just like, no, like our deal's still intact kind of thing, so it's going to be interesting. I think the father is going to be the big troublemaker this episode, that they're going to go after that, because we're going to see Snart in Legends of Tomorrow, and I feel like he is still kind of a villain going in. He's going to be like the anti-hero going into that show, but he's not. There's not going to be enough time, especially in the next couple episodes, because we only have like 8 or 9 episodes until that airs, right? Until the mid-season break, because it's airing this winter.
That's a great question, because it's only got the titles for the next 2 episodes.
Right.
So I have.
Well, I'm saying that's airing this winter, so this winter is not that far off. There's like, what, 8 weeks till winter, till the shows start going on their winter break. So there's about 8, 9 episodes maybe left of that. So they can't really have him go on a killing spree, whatever, rampage villain spree, and then reform himself enough for him to be considered for this, Legends of Tomorrow thing.
Well, I mean, Captain Cold also, at least as we've seen in this universe, he's done like totally lots of bad things, but he's not gone on wonton killing sprees, He's not
while eating wonton soup.
While eating wonton soup.
We've never seen that. And we never will.
He's not the Joker. He's not.
No.
He hasn't just murdered a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
So he's in like the sphere of redemption still.
Yep.
So yeah.
Can't wait.
And I'm just like seeing all of these promotional pictures and stuff, and I'm like, just stop. Just give it all to me now. I can't.
Well, they gotta build up to it. We can't have it now. As much as you want it now, if you got it right now, it's not gonna make sense. I mean, it probably will make sense, but you're gonna be trying to connect the dots of what the hell's going on in Flash and Arrow to catch up to that point. So
and I like that they had on the TV in the background Oliver's speech to the people.
Yeah, from episode 1 of the season 4 Arrow.
Yeah, calling himself the Green Arrow, and Cisco's just like, I hate when they put color in their name.
Yeah, it was great. When Cisco's very protective of the whole name thing.
He is. He's like, I'm gonna let you have that one because I like it.
But just in the future, just
My job. I love it. Cisco's just the best.
Mm-hmm. The show is the best.
Can't wait till he just shares with everyone. It's like, hey, I'm Vibe. What's up? What's happening? Give me a costume.
Yep.
And I mean, they used the goggles on him before to sort of focus his power. And I wonder if he's gonna, on his own, start using the goggles again.
Probably. He's gonna, like, his...
Goggles are badass.
Yeah, because, what's his name told him, we gotta study this, Stein, we gotta study this and figure this out, and Cisco doesn't want anything to do with that right now, right? But once he realizes it, he's gonna have to, like, scientifically look at this, because it's not gonna go away. He's gonna have to figure it out. So.
There, like he said, there are things he doesn't want to have in his head, but they're there. They're not going away. Sorry.
Nope.
Keep happening. So you can control it. So I have to end off talking about Cisco. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Yes.
Dom, where can they find you?
You can find me down below at Phenomedom, Phenomedom.
Phenomedom.
What? Why? Why did I do that?
And
it's
you
not
can
my
find
line.
me on socials at Cleomoto and on Twitch at the Cleomoto. You can find all of us at ASOTV Podcast on.
Oh, sorry. Was I too soon?
So soon. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, and right here on YouTube. Follow us for some more podcasts from some of your favorite TV shows. Until next week when I fangirl a little bit more about Cisco.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Sorry, sometimes my throat just, I can't control it. It just...
Go get that checked out.
I know.